This is The Other Side of Midnight, and it's time for our weekly look at one of the most interesting cities in one of the most interesting states, in one of the most interesting countries, on one of the most interesting planets in this universe. That's right, it's time for our weekly look at Atlantic City, Monopoly City, and a very frightening day for those of us that want Atlantic City to do well and that want to take advantage of the great things that Atlantic City has to offer. As I understand it, thousands of Atlantic City casino workers have now voted to authorize a strike. Unionized employees at 5 of the 9 casinos in Atlantic City authorized a strike if new contract agreements aren't reached by early July. Marianne Ramos, who is a union member, spoke for a lot of folks.
I'm ready. I'm ready for 5. I'm ready for 5 because it's too much. It's too much. The company don't want to listen. They don't want to give nothing to nobody.
Bob McDevitt, the president of their union, Unite Here Local 54, says they are not taking this lightly.
I caution the industry not to take this lightly. They need to take this seriously because this is a no bull thing.
That's the head of the union. Ruth Ann Joyce, a bartender at Harrah's. I think she's actually been my bartender from time to time. She says for her, what this strike is about is...
Historically speaking, we've always fought for our health care and not economics. This go around, we're fighting for the economics.
Here to help us understand what this is all about and what this may mean for you if you're planning a trip to Atlantic City is Roger Gros. He's the publisher of Global Gaming Business Magazine and the president of Casino Connection International. I don't think there's somebody that's more experienced in terms of analyzing the casino business than he is. He was also the founding editor of Casino Player Magazine. He was a co-founder of the American Gaming Summit. If there's been any significant intellectual contribution to gaming analysis over the course of the last 30 or 40 years, chances are Roger Gros has been at the heart of it. Roger, thanks for getting up early with us.
Thanks for talking to me, Frank. I think your listeners need to hear the truth about what's going on in Atlantic City.
Wonderful. So, by the way, if people are not familiar with Global Gaming Business Magazine, what exactly is it? What do you guys do?
We are really the only trade magazine that serves the gaming industry internationally. We cover gaming all around the world, and I am actually based in Atlantic City right now, and I'm very familiar with the situation here.
And so your magazine, would it be read primarily by some of these union members, or would it be read by the management at these casinos that's negotiating with the union members, or would it be read by players or everybody?
We're a trade magazine, so we go to the operators, basically, the executives who run the casinos.
Got it. Okay. Now, why, as you understand it, why are these unionized casino workers upset? You heard the one woman, Ruth Ann Joyce, the bartender, talk about how their wages have not kept up with inflation. Could be said of many of our wages. But I've also heard reports that it has something to do with allowing smoking in casinos and other factors as well. As best you understand it, why are these union workers upset?
Well, it is an economic situation, as your bartender alleges there. It's certainly a reason they need to get a raise. I certainly support them, with the inflation and everything that's going on, they are underpaid. So it's certainly an economic situation. The union needs to focus on the economics and get their people raises. In the past, as she said, they've focused on benefits and things like that. But right now, it's just a financial situation where they need more money, and the casinos understand that. The casinos are ready to give them a raise, but as usual, Bob McDevitt, is focusing on unreasonable demands where he's asking for the sky and not really being realistic.
Can you give us an idea of how far apart these two sides are? What kind of raises is the union looking for, and what kind of raises is the casinos, as you may know, are they prepared to offer?
Well, the casinos are certainly prepared to offer a substantial raise. I mean, they understand that these workers have really gone to the mat for them when it comes to the pandemic. You know, they came back immediately after the pandemic was winding down when the casinos reopened, and they've done a great job in getting back to work and servicing their customers. The union, however, is asking for multiples of what the casinos are willing to give, and the way they couch these things is just very difficult for the casinos to really absorb their demands at this point. So the Bob McDevitt and his crew, are really kind of two-faced. In a lot of cases, they talk about how much they're working for their members, and but on the other side of the equation, they're working for the casinos. You mentioned the smoking issue. The smoking issue impacts his members. Let's be clear who the members are. They're the waiters and waitresses. They're the housekeeping personnel in the casinos. They're not the dealers. They're not the people who work the slot machine area. They're not the people that do some of the back of the house jobs. See, these are just his members.
Just clarify that again, Roger, because I'm a cigar smoker and I'm following this debate over the smoking ban very closely, and it looks like they are going to be successful, at least from what I can tell, in banning smoking at the casinos. But I can understand, if you're on the casino floor and you're being forced to breathe in cigarette or cigar smoke that you're not smoking for 5, 6, 7, 8 hours, why you'd have an issue with that. But you're saying that these union members, these Unite Here Local 54 members, those don't include the dealers?
They do not include the dealers. No, these are the waiters and waitresses. Now, these are the cocktail waitresses that deliver the drinks to you while you're at the table games, while you're at the slot machines. So they are also inhaling the smoke. Mm-hmm. But Bob McDevitt supports allowing smoking in casinos. So he supports the ill health of his own members.
So this is unlikely. If they're able to come up with an agreement by July 1st or shortly thereafter, it's unlikely to include, is it safe to say, an agreement on prohibiting smoking?
Yeah, this has nothing to do with smoking. This is just, a financial situation for the Local 54 members, who certainly deserve a raise. And but because Bob McDevitt is so two-faced when it comes to the impact on his members of smoking in the casinos, where he supports continuing smoking in casinos, he doesn't really when it comes to the casinos, he doesn't really represent his members. He represents the casinos more than his members.
The union also says that 4 Atlantic City casinos are not cleaning their rooms daily. Caesars, Harrah's, Tropicana, and the Golden Nugget. They are being accused by the union of failing to clean each occupied hotel room each day as required by the rules set out by the health department. Do you have any idea if that's true?
Well, again, here's more hypocrisy by the union. The union, when they came back, they didn't want to clean the rooms as much as they could. So they allowed the casinos to set up these situations where you gave the guests the option of having their rooms cleaned or not. There's certain resort fees when you check in to a casino where they add that to your room rate to have your room cleaned every night. So if they don't want the resort fee, they can opt out to not have the room cleaned. So this is again the union being two-faced. They don't want to allow their members to clean the rooms, but now they're accusing the casinos of not cleaning the rooms enough. While they supported that in the beginning when the pandemic started winding down.
We're talking with Roger Gros. He's the publisher of Global Gaming Business magazine, covers the casino gaming business all over the country, all over the world, I think, and currently these days based in Atlantic City. Roger, it's clear you don't have a high opinion of the union leadership. That being said, given where the union is, given where the casinos are, how likely do you think a strike is?
Well, at this point, it looks like the union is targeting the Tropicana because it's kind of the weak link. There's 3 casinos in Atlantic City that are owned by the Caesars Entertainment Corporation, which is there's Caesars, Harrah's, and the Tropicana. The Tropicana is probably on the lower rung of that hierarchy there. So they are targeting the Tropicana because it is, it's on the boardwalk, so it's very visible. They couldn't target Harrah's because it's out in the marina area where, you're not going to get a lot of people walking by, but the Tropicana is on the boardwalk. They don't want to target Caesars because Caesars is the major property for Caesars Entertainment. So it's a difficult situation for the union to really do that. So right now they've been picketing in front of the Tropicana, and I think if they go on strike, they're just going to strike the Tropicana to begin with. So we're looking at that probably toward the end of June. But the big holiday, of course, is July 4th.
Sure.
It's the start of the summer season in Atlantic City, and I think if we're going to look at a citywide strike, that's when it would occur.